Hey, so if you remember, our rats have had a little bit of a parasite problem. They've had mites in their skin, a mite infection, and the vet found eggs in the tips of the fur, which is why Sapphire here is being rather itchy. We've given them the antiparasitic treatment. I've given it to Ruby here, and I've given it to Sapphire, who just ran away. And what are you doing? Leave my shirt alone. And hopefully that'll clear out the infections, and they won't be itchy anymore, and won't be... What? What? They won't be scratching scabs into their own skin. But it's a long process to give them that stuff, because when you give the rat the medicine, you drip it on the back of their neck, right around here, and then you have to keep them in isolation, because other rats will try and groom away the poison. But it's poison, and first of all, you need it to kill the parasites, and second of all, you need it to not get inside of the other rats, because that is very, very, very bad. So each of these girls had to be in isolation for, about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours, until the medicine was completely dried up and absorbed into their skin and, doing what it was supposed to do. But rats don't do well in isolation. It's not especially good for them. And it's Peridot's turn now. I have put the topical antiparasitic on the back of her neck. Let's see if we can show you. Here, you can see how her fur is wet. There. And it needs to work. It's got a really strong smell, by the way, where it's just sitting there, and we're allowing it to work. But in the meantime, I have to quarantine her alone. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad about it. I felt so bad about doing it to Ruby and Sapphire, too. Because rats don't like being alone. They really don't. In fact, it's very bad for them. As I've mentioned on this channel multiple times before, rats are incredibly social creatures. And they need social groups. Like, they need social interaction. If they don't get it, they get depressed. Like, they will stop grooming themselves, they will stop eating and drinking. Why are you biting my nipples, you little shit? She wasn't biting, she just nipped at them. They'll stop grooming, they'll stop eating, they'll even stop drinking, and eventually they'll waste away and die. So you don't keep rats alone. If there's literally any other option, you don't do it. And if you must do it, then you have to be their new social group. Like, you have to groom them, which is like this stuff, and give them social interaction and play with them, and like let them sleep on you or around. Like, you have to be around them all the time. And that level of care is really difficult to provide. And even if you do it the best that a human possibly can, you're still not a rat. Like, you still can't really provide the kind of care that they need, because they need other rats around them that can read their social signals, that will give them the social signals that rats give, that will be able to groom them the ways that rats need to groom each other. And, like, humans just can't. They just can't provide that level of care. So, like, the only circumstances under which, like, a rat has to be kept alone is if there's literally no other option. Like, if the rat is very aggressive and can't get along with other rats at all, if you have lost all of your other rats and you don't plan to adopt any more, in which case you should really try and give away the last rat that you have to a home where they can have a mischief. But if you absolutely bloody must, then, giving the rat a high level of care and letting them live out their lives is like a thing that sometimes people have to do. Hi. No, stay away from my... God damn it, jerk. Go sit on my shoulder or something. No? Okay. So, yeah, I feel extremely bad about... What are you doing down there? What are you trying to do? Little Miss Claus. Little Miss Claus. Your claws are so sharp. I don't know what it is with you. You're the one who runs around the most. They should be ground down. They should be ground down, you little shit. Oh, she's in heat, I see. Yeah, you see that little hop skip she does? Typical sign of a rat in heat. Hi, lovers. Hi. So yeah, I've been feeling extremely guilty about putting them in isolation because I know it's not good for them, and I'm trying to interact with them as much as possible when they're in isolation without giving them time, trying to give them time to sleep and rest also, but mostly just trying to dumbass. Just trying to make sure that they don't, get too stressed out by being alone. Because being alone is stressful for them, the little shits. Now, where are the little girls? I haven't seen them. Oh, hello. You're up there. Hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hiding? Yeah. And Sapphire is still scratching herself more than I'd like. Which is probably, she still has lots of scabs, and I imagine that they're pretty itchy. And there's, it takes time for the parasitic infection to get fully knocked down. We have to give them medicine again in 3 weeks' time, or 2.5 weeks at this point. Oh yeah, you're in heat. You are very in heat. That's why you're so hyphy. In order to be sure that the infection is gone. But then that should deal with it. We also have to, that hammock right there is so destroyed at this point that I think I'm throwing it out, but the ones that we aren't throwing out need to be washed thoroughly, either in the washing machine, or they need to be boiled, basically, to make sure that we kill all the remaining eggs that may have been spread around. Go. You little shit. You little jerk. What's with you, huh? So yeah, that's what's been going on with them. These little assholes are unspeakably energetic. Like, Jesus Christ, there's not a moment of the day when they're not running around or fighting, except right now, apparently, where I think they know the camera's on. So now they're just like, oh no, we're calm. We're relaxed. We don't make a mess. Or, poop places that we're not supposed to. No, we're little angels now that the camera's on. Jerks. Anyway. Hi, Peridot. I know I'm being very mean to you. I'm being very mean. I'm sorry, but I have to. It's necessary. But yeah, they should be alright. With a little time and a little TLC.